Chip Greenidge, he, him, is the founding executive director of Greatest Minds, a Boston-based BIPOC-run nonprofit focused on mentoring young people as they explore college, career, citizenry, and volunteerism as a way to bring about positive change in civil society. He is also a fellow at Harvard Kennedy School's Ash Center for Democratic Governance and Innovation, where he researches urban cities, affordable housing, and the impact of displacement policies and gentrification on its residents. He also serves on the advisory board of Atrius Health, Harvard Vanguard Medical Associations, an American not-for-profit 501c3 tax-exempt organization, and the largest independent physician-led healthcare organization in the Northeast, where he focuses on how to improve, and this is so necessary right now, community and patient care, service, and safety. And he has a story to share with us today that we're so excited for. So please give it up, and thank you for the reminder for Chip Greenidge, you guys. Please give it up for the good day. Yeah.
And I'm so glad to be here today to talk about legacy. So glad to be here at Justbook-ish, as it's one of the premier newer programs that they're doing is making sure that the community comes out and enjoys the space, but also builds community. And one thing I say, I notice a lot of young people in here, is that you guys just jumped right in and got on the computers and started looking at the books and started sharing and getting in the cubby holes. And I think that's what this place was all about when this team put it together, was to find a place in our urban communities right here that you guys can feel welcome and home, and also have these discussions. So I'm so glad to be here, part of one of the first. I know you guys have been around for 6-7 months, am I right? So glad to be a part of this. And November 2024. So you guys, I don't know what this was before. What was this place before?
It was a travel agency.
What?
It was a vacant lot. It was refrigerated during the pandemic.
Oh, Fran knows all the history and the tea, all right? So lots of different spaces that this has been. So it's good to be able to reinvent and recreate all this wonderful space. I'm gonna have a couple of videos to show, and I just wanna share, you guys, I'm so glad that we are now in Black History Month, and love to share my journey of just trying to figure out who I am and why am I here today. Minds is a program that I started to help the next generation become the next generation of civic leaders. And so what we do is a series of pathways through career, college, and community service of showing young people that if I can do it, they can do it too.
Is there a moment from your childhood that has shaped your approach towards activism and community organizing?
I think what has helped shape that is watching my parents be involved. Was it Proposition 2.5, I remember in the 70s? Was it a discussion about school committee budgets? Another piece as well is that as a kid, I would watch both of my grandmothers work at the polls, counting the votes, being a part of that whole process. So when it's time for me to think about voting and voting rights, it reminds me that I have to be active. Sitting on the couch, reading newspapers, watching stuff online, television, and I see this ad, Ancestry.com, $69.99. I was kind of intrigued. Learn about your history. I thought learning about your history was something for rich people. You know, that Henry Louis Gates guy? You know, that was stuff for Julia Roberts. That was stuff for Oprah Winfrey. But me, my turn, for me to learn about my history. Looking back, when I was maybe 7 or 8, I would look in the phone book just to see names, if they're related to me. Many times I would go to my mom and dad and say, hey, are these people related to me? Sometimes they go, yeah. Sometimes they go, no. And sometimes they'll just change the whole other subject because they didn't really know. But this time, you know what? I'm gonna take it on myself to be able to find out who I am. So what I decided to do is put that $69.99 on my credit card and find out who I really am today. Can you believe I got up there and did that for 6 minutes?
Of course.
I learned it. I had to sit there and study and learn and practice. That was not easy. I had to write it out, I had to read it. They also gave us a story coach to help us put the story together and make it sense and so forth. So when I want you guys to think about when you put things together and do presentations, you just can't always do it from the fly. You gotta put the energy and the work in. And I'm very proud of this. I really liked it. I mean, as you guys know, I'm a big critic of everything, but I really did like this. And something about me that you guys didn't know, in first and second grade, I used to stutter, you know? But I came from a really good school system, the Cambridge Public Schools, and they gave us speech teachers. And my speech teacher was by the name of Sandra Spooner, and she would take me out and twice a week and teach me how to say S's and Z's and all those things. But I want you guys to realize there are some school systems in this country that don't have those. Don't have those special programs, English as a second language, all these different things. And so when you think about that and people's life trajectory, where they're gonna go, I want you to think about that, all those different things that people do have that makes them a little different, and to keep that in your hearts and minds when you do this work.